Okay.
Hello everyone, I know that I haven't been posting for quite a bit, but I just want to let you know that there's been stuff happening in school, but I have gone back to my routine and I'll post two times a week, I guess. So today we're going to be learning our BIDMAS, which is quite a tricky, kind of confusing topic, because it's really hard that it stays in your mind. Even me, I sometimes get confused with in order of operations. But before we start learning how to use BIDMAS, we have to learn what it stands for. And so B, you might know this, and you might not. So if you don't know this, I definitely recommend writing this down. So maybe sometimes you see like a question like 2 plus 3 times 4. You'll go like B-I-D. Oh, D goes first, something like that. So B stands for brackets. Sorry of my bad handwriting, but brackets. Brackets are like this. Like there's like 2 C's, like that. And they're the ones you do first. So this is like the order. So like B is 1, indices is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. Just remember like that. I stands for indices. Now, you may not know what indices are, and those are like those little power things, like those small numbers next to numbers. For example, you might see this little 2 is an indice. That shows you how many times you need to multiply that number by itself. For example, 2 to the power of 2, or 2 squared, it shows you that it needs to times 2 by itself 2 times, so the answer is 4. D, so after we've finished doing brackets and after we finish doing indices, we're going to move on to D, which you might have guessed, division. Yeah, we all know division, however, sometimes the division can try to trick you by using like fractions or anything. So division can be seen in like this as well. For example, 8/2. It can be like that, or it could just be like this. It can be like that as well. Just don't forget that just because it has a slash instead of that division sign doesn't mean it's any different. So now we're going to move on to M. And now you might have guessed this as well. This is multiplication. Multiplication. Now multiplication, you might see like a times sign. And now we're going to move on to addition. A is addition. The adding sign, and then finally S is subtraction, and this is just the minus sign that you see. Now, as you know, division and multiplication, they're quite similar. It's like division is closer to multiplication than division is to subtraction. So they're kind of like a little group, let's say, because they're the most alike. For example, if you saw 8 divided by 2 times 3, you don't have to like go like, oh, we need to do division first because of that. You can just do like from left to right. For example, 8 divided by 2 equals 4, and 4 times 3, so the answer would be 12. You don't need to, sometimes it is better to start with division, but it usually just goes from left to right. And addition and subtraction, because they're very similar as well, they follow the same rules, they're in like a little group. Now that we've gone over what they stand for, let's try doing some examples.